What up, YouTube? I have not made a chess video in a minute. I was up pretty late, like 3 hours later than I wanted to, playing Blitz last night. It was just one of those nights. I was just trying to unwind from the day, but of course, playing Blitz, everyone, is not a good way to unwind from your day. Um, yeah, it's very addictive. You can get to chasing ratings if you're doing well. You want to keep doing well and hit a new peak or hit a particular level you have in your mind. If you're doing poorly, you want to redeem yourself, and then you get more and more tired. So I like to think I was over this, but it still happens about once a month. So anyone have any advice for me about that, let me know. And if I have any advice for anyone, if I manage to get over this blitz addiction, I don't think there's anything wrong with a little blitz now and then. But I don't know, more than really even 5 games in a row, especially online. Like if you're hanging out with your friends or in a real life environment and you're socializing, you're playing blitz, that's something different. But to just be sitting in front of a screen, jerking your hand around, it's not optimal. Anyways, but we learn, right? So I'm playing a 3 minute with 2 synchron increment. You can see that neither of us spent much time at all. And here, I'll tell you what I played. I played castles, but there's a much better move, and I thought the sequence was cool. I haven't made a chess video in a while, so I thought I would just show the variation because I thought it was really cool. So anyway, in the game I castled, but if you need more time, pause. Otherwise, yeah, the move is Queen C1. So okay, first. This should kind of be on your radar when you're playing against a fianchetto system because it allows you to get time on this knight. I'm not really sure why he didn't play knight f6 on the previous move, but for whatever reason he played knight h6. So now this knight is hit, and pretty much the only way to save the knight, well, you could go all the way back, but that's a bit sad. So, 99% of players are going to play here, hitting your bishop, which probably is what he wanted to do anyway, which is why he played knight h6. So what's the idea? So the follow-up move is what you have to see to make this worth anything. So the follow-up move, knight here. So what the heck's going on? This is another common theme. So this is kind of 2 common themes. Now the engine doesn't know what a theme from its elbow or its virtual elbow. But as a human, this is the way to see these type of tactics. First, you see this theme, and then you see this theme. When the queen has come out, and your queen or rook is here, you can have a weak back rank up here. Not to mention, as always, good to think about the C2 C7 square and the F2 F7 square, because obviously most players, even beginners, know that there's often checkmate or sacrifices on f2 for the uncastled king, and once the queen has moved out, or even if the queen is still here, there's often fork possibilities here. So this is just a bunch of themes in once, which is why I thought it was cool. So so there's a few different choices. First off, if black is frazzled, he can throw in a check, but this just loses straight away. We block the check, hit the queen, threaten the knight, fork, threaten the bishop, and black is going to be totally busted basically. Engine says best move is just sack the queen here. So that's no good. So actually one thing I didn't consider is if black the queen is here. So black has to do something about the queen. If the queen goes back up here, then of course we get the knight fork, at the very least win the rook. So again, most natural move is to take. And now we're taking the bishop. Only one move here. Take the pawn with check. The knight cannot block because the knight is now pins. Queen is pinning the queen. So we want at least a piece here. And we get to mess up the pawns at the very least. So we got a piece And 2 versus 1 on the queen. I mean, not much needs to be said about this. This is like plus a lot. It's totally winning. So after this move, obviously the king can't move because then you lose the queen with mate. So knight has to block here. And then this is the last kind of cute move you have to see. It's not that hard, but to see the full sequence is pretty hard, especially in a blitz game. But I think it's important to analyze. It's important to look at these lines, and the computer can be very helpful for this. Not necessarily to that you're always going to see the tactics, but just to kind of open your mind and be aware that these type of tactics could exist. Yeah. Now, obviously, I knew about this theme, hitting the bishop. I knew about with the queen or rook on the c file, and the queen's out, and the knight is still here, so the rook can't protect. Picking on the bishop on c1. I knew that tactic, and of course everyone knows the tactic of knight here. But to put them all together and see this whole sequence is pretty cool. But I think it's not impossible. I mean, some computer lines, they just kind of depress you. They're like, oh, I never would have seen that in a million years. But in a classical game, I think I could have seen this whole line. Anyway, long story short, this knight is goner. Yeah, I don't know what white can do. Maybe best is to castle. And yeah, it's totally winning. You could take with the queen or with the bishop. And yeah, this is just bad news for black. Even if he takes this, you got an outside pawn, you got an extra piece. And yeah, totally winning. So that's all. I just thought that was a cool, really cool sequence. And anyway, in the game I castled, and yeah, the game went on. I was winning, then I blundered to exchange, then I was losing, and anyway, the game ended in a draw. This was probably about 11 at night, but 2 hours before I usually go to sleep. After I usually go to sleep, so yeah, I was tilted. I was going through the motions, and yeah, that's not really the right way to play chess. But it's kind of like when you stay out at night drinking, and then you're like kicking yourself, but you wake up in the morning, you're like, okay, the least I can do is to kind of look at myself, look at my behavior, look at kind of what led to the situation. But the nice thing about online chess, for all its drawbacks, is you get a record of all your games. So you can go back, examine, and try to at least learn something. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.